After almost 28 years, I'm back in Playa del Coco. The last time I was here, I was about 12. So the first night, I went for a walk down the main street to see how much it had changed. Honestly, I was surprised to see much variety of shops, seafood restaurants, Indian food markets, and souvenir shops. I walked past a big shop selling handmade jewelry, bags, beach clothes, everything colorful and handmade. Next to it, there was a bar, and I remember the stories my older cousins told me about nightclubs, dancing, and how lively this place was at night. Maybe there aren't nightclubs like before, but Coco still has its own night vibe. I kept walking until I got to the park called Amor de Temporada, where many locals were enjoying the evening by the beach. But there were also bars and restaurants in this area surrounded by greenery and nice lighting. You could tell nightlife was still alive, even if it was different from how my cousins remember it. After walking around a bit more, I ended up having dinner at a 15-themed restaurant with a quiet vibe and a tasty pizza. To end the night, I got in the car and drove down the main street. The next scenes are a time-lapse of what nightlife in Coco looks like today. I always came to Coco with my family for New Year's, but for some reason I never knew that on the south side there was a hidden beach, so on this trip I decided to go check it out. My goal was to reach Playa Tinoco, a small beach you can only get to when the tide is low. I started the walk from the Amor de Temporada Park, but if I did it again, I would start from the far south end so the walk is shorter and there is less sun. The path is short, about 400 meters, but you have to walk over the rocks and some sand. Since there's nothing out there, I took a small cooler with water and some food. After about 400 meters of rocks and sand, you see two big rocks that mark the entrance to the beach. When you go through them, Playa Tinoco appears, white sand and no one inside. I took some time to relax, enjoy the view, take some photos, and explore the beach. With the drone shots, I could see the beach and the landscape from another view. I was impressed by the emerald green water and how it stood out against the sand. Since the tide was low, you could clearly see where the rocks and ocean meet. You could also spot some local fishermen looking for fish. The views of Coco Bay were amazing and you could see the ocean wide open. Playa Tinoco has a lot of plants and a big rock wall at the back that gives good shade. A few minutes later, some people show up with their dogs. It was really nice to watch them running and playing on the sand. There are also many trees, so you can relax without being in the sun all the time. I tried to walk to the Coco Islet, but the tide was rising, so I couldn't make it. Instead, I took some drone shots to see it up close. Since the tide kept going up, I had to leave Playa Tinoco, but the trip was totally worth it. The next few days I spent walking around Playas del Coco. There was always something going on, boats coming and going, people walking, dogs playing by the shore, and pelicans flying slow, like they already knew their route. Near the Amor de Temporada park, people were renting chairs and many local families were there with cooler, tents, and everything ready to spend the day. This area gets really busy, especially because it's close to the main road. Someone told me about a popular ice cream shop near the main street in Coco, so I went and got myself an ice cream and then hid to the beach to eat it. That day I stayed to wait for the sunset. Even though the sun sets behind the mountains this time of the year instead over the sea, it still made a beautiful sky full of different colors. I moved a bit to the north end of the beach where there were fewer people, just a few kids playing with the waves, and it was a quiet way to end the day. This trip to Coco was like going back to a place full of memories. While I watched the sunset, I thought about dancing with my cousins, building sand castles with my sister, and digging holes on the beach with my dad. Everything has changed, but those memories are still there. Going back was also a way to say thank you.